good lap, bro. Yeah, I was fucking burning that lap. You don't need it in the race, you just need it in qualifying.
Welcome, everyone, to Intensity Broadcasting for coverage of the Racetrack Revival 90 here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Tonight, these Xfinity cars are going to be taking 150 laps around this 0.625 mile short track. I'm going to be your announcer for all the racing action throughout tonight. Atlee Atman-Weiss, and I'm very, very excited to call the short track action. I ran in the SCSRA Truck Series race that we saw last night, and that was an absolutely incredible race. There was action all over the track, and I'm very proud of myself. I was able to get an 11th place finish, but it certainly was not easy. This is one of the most difficult short tracks on iRacing, and the trucks are probably easier to drive on these short tracks compared to these Xfinity cars. So it is going to be a challenge tonight. There we see drivers getting loose off of turn number 2. It is going to be a very, very challenging night for these drivers. A little bit of a recap from last week. Last week we were at Homestead Miami Speedway, and Clint Stone got his first ever SCSRA Xfinity Series win. He led 92 laps, absolutely dominating the race. Not to be outdone, though, is second-place finisher Blake Hensley. Blake led 23 laps, which is the second most in the race. Third was Devin Bucciano. Finishing fourth was Cody Moore. And rounding out your top 5 at Homestead was Jeffrey Belk. Other drivers that led laps include Logan Hagerman, who finished 6th. He led 6 laps. And Todd Mace, who finished in 18th. He led 2 laps. So after Homestead, here is a look at your current point standings. So we'll actually get a graphic up onto your screen here. All right, so right now leading the point standings is Devin Bucciano. He has 1 win this season, and he currently sits 13 points ahead of second place Cody Moore. Third place is one-time winner this season Blake Hensley. Fourth is last week's winner Clint Stone, and rounding out your top 5, it is Will Witt. Sixth place is Brian Nudie. He won at Watkins Glen. In 7th, it is Kyle Mays. 8th in the point standings is Colin Willems. 9th is Brett Merle. And rounding out your top 10 is Eddie Morris. 11th in the standings is Michael Provolt. Rounding out your top 12, it is Derek Chaput. So there you go. That is your point standings. And another thing got to talk about is the team standings. Teams are a very focal part of the SCSRA Xfinity Series. And right now, your leader in the team standings is Wasted Wages Racing. Wasted Wages has 1 win this season. They have a 66-point lead over second place CCM. We have 2 wins this season, 1 coming from Brian Nudie and 1 coming from Blake Hensley. Third right now in the team standings is Neon Racing, who their 2 wins have came from Devin Bucciano. Fourth right now in the team standings is Mays Mafia Racing. Their 1 win came from Clint Stone, who won last week. 5th in the team standings is Intensity DBC Racing. Their highest driver currently in the point standings is, I believe, Jeffrey Belk. Actually, no, it's Josh Hall. And then lastly, 6th in the team standings is 2 Pedals, 1 Clutch Racing. Their highest driver currently is Michael Provolt. So there you go. That is your last week's recap. All eyes are now on qualifying. Drivers will get 2 laps to try to set their best possible lap time. We see Brett Merle to the top of the board, 18.94 for that 11 machine. We see David Hartney will run a 19.12. That will put Hartney about 2/10 off of Brett Merle. Brett Merle always fast at these short tracks, still looking for his first ever SCSRA short track win. There's Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence on track, heading through turns 3 and 4. Cody Moore to second with a 18.99. That will put Cody about 500ths off of first place Brett Merle. We see Cheeseburger gets loose through 3 and 4. And that is going to absolutely kill Cheeseburger's qualifying run. Dave Wright on track in his throwback. Yes, you might notice some drivers not running their regular paint schemes. That is because tonight it is throwback night. And so drivers are sporting paint schemes from the past in NASCAR and bringing them back. So we saw Dave Wright. He is running his Kyle Busch throwback. That is a throwback to Kyle Busch's number 5 Kellogg's car from his rookie year. Got Kyle Mays on track in the 55. Kyle did really, really good last night at North Wilkesboro in the Truck Series. So looking to try to carry on that success tonight here. Heading through 3 and 4. What is that 55 going to turn? You see Kyle Mace to 5th with a 19.23, about 3/10 off of first place Brett Merle. There is Will Witt the 5th, exiting pit road and on to the backstretch here. Got Derek Chaput also on track. Yeah, Devin Butchno in the chat. He says, great running last night, Atman. Appreciate the kind words there, Devin. I had a blast last night running in the SCSRA Truck Series, North Wilkesboro. A very, very fun track, and it was really, really good. After, like, the first half of the race, it was really, really good, really, really clean racing. A lot of give and take, and it was just a lot of fun running with everybody. So, I appreciate that. I know I'm not the fastest, but I thought I did pretty well, and I was really happy with how I performed, and it was a really, really fun race. Always awesome to run with these SCSRA drivers. I mean, to run in 11th in a 22-car field with some of the best drivers on iRacing is absolutely incredible, so I'm really happy with last night. We see Kyle Mays is able to get to 3rd with a 19.02. That will put him around a 10th off of first place Brett Merle. Now, of course, Intensity Broadcasting is proud to announce that we have partnered with Butt Kicker. So I want to take the time to talk a little bit about Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is an established and trusted leader in haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker brand haptic transducers lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Butt Kicker brand products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers worldwide. Butt Kicker products' patented design makes them incredibly accurate, powerful, and virtually indestructible. The Gamer Plus is the new and upgraded sim racing and gaming haptic hardware that reproduces immersive, accurate, and powerful sim racing, flight sim, and gaming effects. To check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, make sure to visit thebuttkicker.com. Again, if you want to check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out which one is right for you, visit thebuttkicker.com. Thank you to Butt Kicker for partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. And last night in the SCSRA Truck Series, I actually used my Butt Kicker Gamer Plus for the first time in a iRacing League race. And let me tell you, that helped me a ton in many ways because, first of all, I could feel that the tires were sliding, so that helped me know that I needed to maybe adjust my line to help me save tires more, because you know that if those tires are sliding, that is burning up tires more than if you had the car straight and it was not sliding through the corner. I hit the inside fence one time coming into 3, and I felt the heck out of that. It is crazy how realistic that Butt Kicker Gamer Plus is. It is the closest I've ever felt on iRacing to actually feeling like I'm driving in a real-life car. I race in real life. I drive Bandoleros, and that was the first time that it felt very, very similar to what it would feel like in real life if you hit the wall or if the tires spun or if you got a bump from somebody behind you. So if you are looking to have a more accurate iRacing experience and get immersed in the simulation, definitely recommend picking up a Butt Kicker. I have loved mine so far, and thank you to Butt Kicker for shipping them out to me. And also, we saw Josh Hall, Joe Wright. They also got 2 Butt Kickers, the Butt Kicker Gamer Pluses from Butt Kicker. Both of them absolutely love it. I've talked to both of them, and they say it makes the iRacing experience much more enjoyable, much more accurate. So one more time, thank you to Butt Kicker for partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. Go check them out, thebuttkicker.com. We see Clint Stone to the top of the board, 18.90 for that 99 machine. Eddie Morris to third with a 18.99. That will put him about 800ths off of first place Clint Stone. We see Blake Hensley to second with a 18.93. That will put him about 300ths off of first place Clint Stone. Also, we got to thank Dev Sports Cards for all of their support of the SCSRA and Intensity Broadcasting. Dev Sports Cards was established in 2013 by SCSRA driver and Neon Racing team owner Devin Butchino. Dev Sports Cards specializes in all your sports cards and gaming cards needs. From football, baseball, and basketball cards to Pokemon, Dev Sports Cards sells it all. On their eBay store, you can find a wide variety of items, from high-end sports cards to their weekly 99-cent starting bid 7-day auctions. Don't have time to sell your own cards? Reach out to Devin and ask about his consignment services. Simply package them up, ship them out, and Devin will get them listed, sold, and then you get paid. Dev Sports Cards can be found on eBay with 4,000 plus positive feedback. You can also find Dev Sports Cards on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Dev Sports Cards is a proud sponsor of the SCSRA series and Intensity Broadcasting. So shout out to Devin for his constant support of the league, and go support someone who supports our hobby of sim racing. So qualifying, getting ready to wrap up. It looks like Clint Stone has taken the pole. And this is actually, I believe, yes it is, this is the second week in a row that Clint Stone has taken the pole. He started on the pole last week at Homestead Miami Speedway. Clint Stone looking to try to make it 2 in a row here tonight at North Wilkesboro. He's going to have a lot of competition, though. Blake Kinsley, Brett Murrell, Eddie Morris, Cody Moore, they will all be up there in the mix. And I think there may be some other dark horse drivers to watch out for as well. So there we go. Qualifying has officially finished. It is now time to start gridding for the feature. Here we go. It is time to look at the starting lineup. Starting on the pole with a 18.901. It is the 99, last week's winner, Clint Stone. Outside of him, it is CCM's Blake Kinsley in the 88, the fastest mailman on iRacing. Third, it's Brett Murrell in the 11. Fourth, starting right behind his teammate, it is Eddie Morris in the 8. And rounding out your top 5, it is Cody Moore. Starting in 6th, we have member of the Maze Mafia, Kyle Mays in the 55. 7th is Neon Racing's Devin Butchino in the 68. 8th is Intensity Broadcasting's own Joe Wright in the 82. 9th, we have Michael White in the 09. And rounding out your top 10, it is Intensity DBC's Sim Racing's David Hartney in the 43. 11th is Wasted Wages' Colin Willems in the 17. He is the highest starting Canadian. 12th, we have Wasted Wages' Will Witt starting right outside of his teammate. And 13th, we have Michael Provel in the 95. 2 pedals, 1 clutches, number 1 driver in the standings right now. 14th is the Canadian Wasted Wages' Logan Hagerman starting right behind his teammate. And then rounding out your top 15, it is Dave Wright in the 84. 16th is Intensity DBC's Jeffrey Belk in the 54. 17th is Intensity Broadcasting Zone Josh Hall. 18th is Derek Chapu in the 37. Last but not least, it is Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence in the 47. So here we go, 19 drivers. Only one can win here in the Racetrack Revival 90 at historic North Wilkesboro Speedway. There's one track that would be incredible to talk to the walls of the Speedway. It would be this track. North Wilkesboro Speedway has seen so much in real life and its iRacing and its iRacing counterpart as well. First Cup race was in 1949, which was the inaugural season of the NASCAR Strictly Stock Series. These drivers tonight are racing on the 1987 iteration of North Wilkesboro Speedway. We see the Winston Wall stretching around the track. Many old business logos. This should be a fun one. Pace car is in. Green flag is out here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. The Racetrack Revival 90 is underway. Great restart for the outside driver, Blake Hensley. He is able to get clear of Clint Stone as we head on to the backstretch, but Clint Stone not letting Blake Hensley get away with this lead. Oh no, Clint Stone getting loose off of turn number 4. Big wreck on the front stretch. And that is not the way that these drivers wanted to start off tonight's event. So we're going to take a look at exactly what happened with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. Wow. We're not able to complete a lap before the caution struck. So here's a look. We see Clint Stone out of the racing groove on that high side. He's got Brett Merle underneath him. And unfortunately, I guess when he got back into the gas, the 99 just whips around. Just gets loose on his own. Makes some contact with Brett Merle. We see Eddie Morris, Devin Butchno both barely able to get through. Few drivers threading the needle to get by. Colin Willems nowhere to go, slams hard into that 99, knocking the hood off of that 17 machine. Michael Provel gets some damage as well as he tries to go between Stone and the inside fence. So Clint Stone, Michael Provel, both in the pits getting damage fixed as the first caution has struck. So that brings me to talk a little bit about what are the keys of the race tonight. First of all, tires. This track absolutely eats up those tires. So early on, the key is going to be saving. Driver's going to be taking it easy, just trying to conserve those tires. Also, racing line. If you do not run the right line here, it is very, very difficult to turn fast lap times. We're going to see a lot of difficulty making passes, so drivers are going to need to time their passes perfectly if they want to get a position and not cause a wreck. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. There is Blake Hensley taking off. The battle for second is on. Cody Moore looking low under Brett Merle here on the backstretch. Moore is to the rear quarter panel. We are side by side. We see, oh, Brett Merle getting squirrely on the outside. He is able to save it, but he does lose a ton of positions. We see Brett Merle, he falls to the 7th place spot. Unfortunate for that 11 machine who was running in the top 3. Eddie Morris trying to reel in Devin Butchino for that 3rd place spot. We see Kyle Mays looking to the outside of that 8 machine. He can't quite get to him. Like I mentioned earlier, it takes a lot of effort, and we see another caution flag is out here at lap number 9. So here's a look at what happened here with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. So we see Colin Willems looking to the outside of David Hartney. And this actually does not involve Colin, or it does, but that's not the cause of the caution. Looks like coming off of turn number 2, Michael White ends up tagging the outside wall. There we see it right there. And that is going to send him down the track right in front of David Hartney. We see Hartney get some damage. The 17 machine of Colin Willems gets some damage. Man. So we see Michael White into the pits. While we were looking at that replay, he takes the no, he does not take the fast repair. He gets as much damage fixed as he could. And he is still able to stay on the lead lap. So Michael White is going to have his work cut out from him, working his way back up to the field. We're going to talk a little bit more about some of the other keys of the race. Next thing you got to talk about is the wrecks. Avoiding wrecks is going to be key. If you can have a clean car at the end of the race, you can have a 0X at the end of the race. You have a very, very good chance at a top 10 or a top 5, as long as you can maintain a good pace. Now, we'll say, because of how the corners are situated, the wrecks are extremely hard to see. So, you got to hope that you have a really, really good spotter or really, really good teammates to help notify you if a wreck is happening in front of you, so you have plenty of time to react. Also, one other thing, I don't think we will see green flag pit stops, but if we do, we might see some drivers struggle entering pit road. Where pit road is situated, like right after turn number 4 and kind of like a blind spot, it's really, really difficult to enter. So going from around 120 miles per hour to 35 in a short amount of time, it's going to be very, very difficult. So if we do see green flag pit stops, watch to see a lot of drivers make some errors and lock up the brakes or speed on pit road. Getting ready to go back green here. Blake Kinsley will restart on the bottom. Cody Moore on the top. Behind them, it's Devin Butchino and Eddie Morris. See Eddie with some rear end damage. I don't know if that's going to slow him down any. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There we see Blake Kinsley taking off. And the battle is on for third, side by side. Eddie Morris, Devin Butchino. We see Eddie Morris with the nose on the backstretch. Can he get clear? Yes, he can. Eddie Morris now to the 3rd place spot. He sets his sights on your 2nd place finisher, Cody Moore. We see Cody Moore able to extend the gap a little bit here through turns 1 and 2. Eddie Moore still having some pressure from Devin Butchino. So a little bit of offense and defensive action for Eddie Morris. And actually, we just saw right there, Blake Kinsley just ran the fastest lap time of the race. 19.03 was the time for that number 88 machine. Devin Butchino starting to reel in. Oh, wow. Another yellow flag is out here. Colin Willems looks to be involved in this one. Here's a look at what happened. We see Colin Willems coming up on Joe Wright through, that looks to be turns, oh, yep. So heading through turns 3 and 4. Looks to be just a lazy spin from Joe Wright. 82, just, yep, there we go. Just goes around right in front of Colin Willems. He's got nowhere to go except for right into the 82. Bad luck so far for that 17 machine. Again, the hood pops off. And there you go. That is the incident that we saw there. So Colin Willems, unfortunately, looking like a modified right now here at North Wilkesboro. The entire hood off of that Camaro. Definitely going to affect him aerodynamically and slow him down. So we are getting ready to go back green here. Blake Kinsley restarting on the bottom. Cody Moore restarting on the top. For 20 laps, we still have the whole field on the lead lap. It is still anyone's race. Everyone from Blake Kinsley in the lead to Clint Stone in last place. All of them still with a chance to win. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. Heck of a restart for Blake Kinsley. The battle is on for second, side by side between Cody Moore and Eddie Morris. We see Cody Moore is clear of the 8 machine. And he is able, and we see another yellow flag is out. What in the world happened? We shall see here. It looks to maybe involve Colin Willems. Who has had extremely bad luck so far. If we can get it up. For some reason the replays, there we go. So here's Colin Willems and teammate Will Witt side by side through turns 1 and 2. And it looks like oh, so it happens behind them. We see Derek Chappie getting loose on his own on that outside. Josh Hall, nowhere to go, right into that 37. So a 2-car incident we just saw here at North Wilkesboro. See Josh Hall in the pitch, Joe Wright coming out, both of them getting damage fixed from either that last incident or previous incidents. So we're getting ready to go back green here. Blake Kinsley on the bottom. Cody Moore on the top. Pace car is in. And green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There we see Blake Kinsley taking off. The battle's on between Cody Moore and Eddie Morris side by side for second. Cody with the nose on the outside. But Eddie still to the rear quarter panel, to the door of the 52. He is right there side by side, but Cody Moore is able to get clear and is back to the second place spot. Eddie Morris, though, sticking right with that 52, not letting him get away. Eddie Morris with some pressure from Brett Merle. Merle looking low under that 8 machine as we head into turns 1 and 2. To the quarter. Ooh, little bit loose off of 2 for Brett Merle. That will put him a little bit behind from Eddie Morris. We see side by side between Devin Butchno and Kyle Mays. We see Mays is clear and to the 5th place position. Brett Merle, after collecting himself after a little spin moment off of 2, he is reeling back in. Eddie Morris for the 3rd place spot. Great run through 3 and 4. Looking low, heading through turns 1 and 2. We see Brett Merle able to get to the rear quarter panel. Eddie Morris trying his best to shut the door, but the door is open for Brett Merle side by side through turns 3 and 4. Brett with the nose on the front stretch. They remain side by side heading through turns 1 and 2. Brett Merle still with the nose on the back stretch. Great battle right now. Can he get clear? Yes, he can. Brett Merle into the top 3. That 11 is in that 3rd place position now. And he sets his sights on your 2nd place finisher, Cody Moore. Great run off of 4 for that 11 machine. Getting ever so close to the back bumper. Caution flag is out here at North Wilkesboro. We got another caution to check out here with the Marco's Pizza Wreckage Rewind. If you were ever considering having pizza for breakfast, lunch, or dinner, then definitely consider checking out Marco's Pizza. Absolutely primo pizza. My favorite chain pizza I've ever had. Definitely go check them out. So we're watching Will Witt here. Actually, I believe this happens up here. Side by side between Devin Butchno and Colin Williams. We see Devin Butchno hits that bump on the bottom of the racetrack, and that pushes him up into the 17 machine. He gets sideways heading off of 4. And we see he's able to get to the bottom of the racetrack. So unfortunate for Devin. I do want to take a little bit of time to talk about where we are at tonight, and that is North Wilkesboro Speedway. The dream of North Wilkesboro Speedway began in the mid-1940s when Enid Staley found inspiration in a stock car race that Bill France had promoted in South Carolina before the formation of NASCAR. The story goes that Staley and his partners ran out of money to create their perfect oval, leaving the track with an uphill slope on the backstretch and a downhill slope to the finish. Such was born one of the most unique short tracks in NASCAR history, a .625-mile oval that hosted the Premier Cup Series twice a year until 1996. From the second that last checkered flag fell, race fans have clamored for the return of North Wilkesboro to the Cup Series, and you still have a chance to drive the Cup cars out of North Wilkesboro here on iRacing. The track has been digitally restored to its 1987 state, giving iRacers the opportunity to go back in time and relive the heyday of the iconic North Carolina short track. And I'm sure if you pay attention to NASCAR news that you have heard that in 2023, the NASCAR All-Star Race will be held at North Wilkesboro Speedway, bringing the Cup Series back to the track for the first time since 1996, before I'm sure maybe a couple of our viewers were born. And also Truck Series will have a race there. It is going to be a spectacle for sure. So getting really excited for that next year. Green flag is back out there. We see Blake Kinsley taking off. We see Cody Moore trying to get clear of Brett Murrow. He does, heading off of turn number 2. But Brett Murrow sticking right with that 52 right on the back bumper. Looking low as we head through 3 and 4. He is to the quarter panel side by side. The two trade a little bit of paint. We see Brett Murrow getting a little bit loose. And that will slow down his run heading into turns 1 and 2. But Brett Murrow not letting Cody Moore get away. We see Eddie Morris there as well, trying to get by that 11 machine. So the field's starting to get a little bit spread out. We see a good run, though, through 3 and 4. Brett Murrow to the back bumper of Cody Moore. He is right there. Looking high, looking low, trying to set up the pass. Brett Murrow just trying his best to set up a pass on Cody Moore. I mentioned earlier, though, it is extremely hard to pass here at North Wilkesboro because of how tight the corners are. There's not really a ton of room to pass, and if you get too low, like we saw with Devin Butchino, you'll hit that little bump on the bottom of the track or get into the grass. Brett Murrow having a lot of issues right now. He just keeps constantly getting loose off of the corner. And that is going to allow Eddie Morris to get right up to the back bumper of that 11 machine. See Brett Murrow getting away. Looking around the field, we see Brett Murrow starting to reel back in. Cody Moore for that second place spot. We are nearing 100 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. I will mention this. There is a time limit on this race. So, of course, what is going to happen is the drivers are either going to complete all of the scheduled 150 laps, or the race will end when the clock reaches an hour and 25 minutes. So it's whichever comes first, completing 150 laps or reaching 1 hour and 25 minutes. Just so the race doesn't go too long. And that is the case for all of the short tracks on the schedule this season. We saw it at Richmond. The drivers luckily were able to complete the race at 1 hour, 21 minutes, only 4 minutes away from the time limit. We see Logan Hagerman trying to get up to Kyle Mays for the 6th place spot. Battles all over the track. We see Will Witt also there trying to get by his teammate Logan Hagerman for that 7th place spot. Now, right now, we are going to be doing the Marco's Pizza Driver Spotlight of the Week, where we are going to shout out and give a little bit of a biography on two of our drivers. Starting off, we're going to talk a little bit about... Let's talk about... And as I say that, we got a yellow flag out. So we'll do that during the caution break. So here we go. Looks like Michael White was involved in an incident. Let's take a look at what happened. So here we go. Let's take a look at what happened. So we got Michael White heading through turns 3 and 4. He's got Chappie looking low under him. And it looks like... So it looks like Michael White tags the outside wall. Still not quite sure what the yellow was. Well, I am not entirely sure, and actually I am. That was the stage break. I apologize. So majority of the field comes in, takes tires. We see the first driver off of pit road was Clint Stone, so that will put him in the 3rd place position. Then was Brett Merle, Eddie Morris, Kyle Mays, Colin Willems, and Will Witt. We see David Hartney coming in now to get some tires. Oh, he misses his pit stall. Yeah, I just realized that, Devin. We see Jeffrey Belk coming in as well. So we saw 2 drivers stay out. That was Blake Kinsley and Cody Morris. So a little bit of a gamble for those 2. So we'll do our first driver bio before we go back green, and let's talk a little bit about Clint Stone. Clint Stone is the driver of the Nexus Esports number 99. He is 33 years old from Chattanooga, Tennessee. He started iRacing in 2020. He is currently into some dirt work, fishing tournaments, and if that isn't happening, he is probably on here. Uncle Todd Mays is his hero, and Roll Tide, he's a fan of Alabama. So there you go. That's some information on one of our drivers, Clint Stone, who is restarting 3rd. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There we see Blake Kinsley taking off, and right now the battle is on for 2nd. We see Brett Merle looking low under Cody Moore as we head through 3 and 4. Brett Merle has fresh tires. Cody Moore does not. We see Brett Merle looking low as we head through turns 1 and 2. Side by side here on the backstretch. Cody Moore trying to shut the door, but Merle is to the rear quarter panel to the door. They are equal coming off of turn number 4. Side by side as we take lap number 59. Cody Moore still with the nose on the outside, but here's Brett Merle fighting back on the bottom, getting a little bit of squirrely on the outside, and there we go. Look at that. Brett Merle is clear into the 2nd place spot now. He sets his sights on your 1st place driver, Blake Kinsley. Logan Clark says, let's go Devin Butchino. Devin Butchino right now currently sits in the 8th place position. That will put him about Let's see, he's about 2 seconds and oh no, big wreck! Todd Mays, Will Witt. Few others getting involved. Wow. A lot of drivers, not a few, a lot of drivers were involved in that one. So we will see exactly what happened. I believe it started, or yeah, we saw who it started with. That was Kyle Mays in the 55. So here we go side by side between Cody Moore and Kyle Mays. We see Cody Moore getting loose on the bottom. And just slides up into Kyle Mays, turning the 55 around. And he turns down, spins down the track into Eddie Morris. And then back up the track. We see Will Witt nowhere to go. He gets into the back of his teammate. Logan Hagerman is involved. Dave Wright gets involved. Joe Wright nowhere to go. Wow. That was a wild one. So we see Cody Moore comes in. He gets his fresh set of tires. Kyle Mays, Michael Provolt, Joe Wright, David Hartney, all in the pits, getting damage fixed. So our other driver that we are going to talk about tonight is Colin Willems. Now, Colin Willems is the driver of the number 17. He was the founder of YXU Racing, and he currently drives for Wasted Wages. Turned 33 this year. He grew up in London, Ontario, Canada, and he currently resides in Strathroy, Ontario, with his wife of 12 years and 2 sons, aged 10 and 6. He grew up as a big Kenseth fan and has been a NASCAR fan since he was about 6. He is a pandemic racer, meaning he started iRacing in 2020. For work, he is the regional operations manager for the largest region and the largest HVAC company in Canada. He also he also races in a 4-cylinder bone stock at his local short track in a field. They typically have around a field of 45 cars. He also has a private pilot's license and likes going around southwestern Ontario when he can find the time. He loves the league and everyone in it and couldn't find anything else he'd rather do than run with everybody every Wednesday. So there we go. That is your other driver spotlight, Colin Willems. It's always nice to know kind of the origin of some of the number choices. So we know Colin Willems is the 17 because he was a Matt Kenseth fan. Green flag is back out there. We see Blake Kinsley taking off. Fantastic restart for that 88. We are side by side for second. We see Clint Stone looking low under Brett Merle for the second place spot, but he can't quite get there. We see Eddie Morris coming up on Clint Stone. He looks to the outside of Stone, heading through 3 and 4, but Stone is able to stay clear of the 8. Eddie staying right with that 99. Great run off of 2 for that 8 machine. He is right there. And another caution flag is out. So here's a look at what happened. So here it is, heading into turns 3 and 4. We're watching Dave Wright. He gets loose, is sideways. Yeah, that has definitely been a common trend all night long. Drivers getting loose. We see he comes down into Hagerman. Chappie nowhere to go. Hard into the outside wall for Dave Wright. Ooh. Pro Volt, Cheeseburger, both getting involved as well. Unfortunate. We see Dave Wright into the pits, getting that damage fixed on that 84 machine. He is in and out. Barely able to beat the leaders off. So at this point in the race, I'm going to let you know who my picks are to win tonight. First driver I say you got to watch out for. That is probably one of, first of all, my dark horse pick for tonight's event. That is Logan Hagerman in the 36 machine. He currently runs in the 7th place position. Always really, really fast here at these short tracks. Keep your eye out for him. Devin Butchino, another driver I would say to watch out for. He is right ahead of Logan. Has had a rough race so far, but that does not mean he can make a comeback and get up front. Blake Hensley has been the short track king as of late. He won last night in the Truck Series. And he won at Richmond earlier this season, so looking to try to carry on that short track success here tonight. Another driver to keep your eye out on is Will Witt, who currently sits in the 9th place position. Will Witt has also had some pretty bad luck throughout tonight's event, but that does not mean that he can turn this race around and put it up front. We saw Will Witt win at technically a short track in the Truck Series earlier this season with Bristol Dirt. Cody Moore, lastly, is the last driver I would say to watch out for in 13th. He's got fresh tires, a fresh car. He's always really, really good at these short tracks because I believe that his skill on the road courses kind of translates to these short tracks because, you know, heavy braking, got to be smooth with the car and hit your mark. So those are my picks to win tonight. Let's see if any of them come true. Pace car is in. And green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There is Blake Hensley taking off Clint Stone all over the back bumper of Brett Merle for this 3rd place position. Actually, we're side by side for 3rd. Clint Stone, Eddie Morris. We see Clint Stone is able... Nope. Eddie fighting on that outside. Good run for the 8 machine, but Clint Stone is able to get back clear. Here comes Eddie Morris looking to the outside of Clint Stone as we head through 1 and 2. Uh-oh, look at that. Eddie Morris blinking a little bit. Definitely not what you want to see at a short track. For those of you who don't know what blinking is, if somebody on the track has a spotty connection, their car will pop in and out, and it looks for the other drivers around the track as if they're disappearing and reappearing. So it's hard for the other drivers around you to tell where you're at, and it can certainly cause some incidents. We are 75 laps through this thing, and I think now is the perfect opportunity to pump up the intensity. Here you'll get to see the sights and hear the sounds of the racetrack. Here we go.
Caution, caution. Save us a little here. Nice and smooth. Cool your tires off. Get your fans on.
And right as we were doing that, a caution flag comes out. So it is now time to take a look at the Marco's Pizza wreckage rewind to see exactly what happened. So here's Michael Cheeseburger Lawrence heading off of turn number 4. This actually happens in so yeah, Michael Lawrence just self-spins off of 2. And we see, wow, it was like synchronized spinning, my favorite Olympic sport. Right at the same time that Michael Lawrence got loose, so did Josh Holland, and we see he hits the inside fence there. So we see a bunch of drivers into the pits getting damage fixed from that previous incident. So I would probably say we are going to give up on Pump Up the Intensity for tonight, because I don't think we will have many really, really long green flag runs to do it based on what we've seen so far throughout tonight. Do want to talk a little bit about the track spec. Wow, look at this. In an interesting move, Blake Kinsley comes into the pits. Looks like let's see what he does. So he is sacrificing the lead. And it looks like fresh Goodyear tires are going onto that 88 machine. So there we go, a 2-tire stop for Blake Kinsley. See Michael Provolt getting some damage fixed on that 95. Lights are off on the pace car. We are getting ready to go back green. Brett Myrtle restarting on the bottom, Clint Stone on the top. Here we go. Now, I do want to quickly answer some questions. I know a few of you may be wondering where a few drivers are, that being Brian Merle Jr., Todd Mays, and Craig Schroeder. Well, after last week's events at Homestead, they were issued penalties, so they are taking a 1-race vacation. So they will not be running tonight due to suspensions. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There was Brett Myrtle taking off. Clint Stone right there looking to the outside of that 11. But it's not going to work. This is not a multi-groove racetrack, unfortunately. Side by side for third. Great run on the bottom for Eddie Morris. Eddie with the nose as we head off of turn number 4. But we see Colin Willems fighting back on the outside. He has the nose. And he is clear. Oh, Eddie Morris getting loose off of turn number 2. What a save for that 8 machine. That could have been bad. Side by side now for 4th between Devin Butchno and Eddie Morris. We saw Eddie get really, really loose. Almost wrecked the car, but luckily he was able to save it. And that might cost him a position here as Devin Butchno looks low. They remain side by side through 1 and 2. Kyle May's getting a little bit squirrely. And look at this. Blake Kinsley just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 19.00. But he currently sits in the 17th position, trying to reel in the rest of the field. Next driver he has to pass is Logan Hagerman in the 36, which he should be able to reel in fairly quickly. So Eddie Morris was able to get clear of Devin Butchno and to the 3rd place spot. We are currently nearing 50 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. Butchno looking low. And the battle for the lead. Oh my gosh, Brett Myrtle is loose through 3 and 4. Your leader. And that is going to cause a major checkup for the field. Colin Willems is to the lead, as we saw Clint Stone, who was right behind Brett Merle. Wow. That was wild. Want to take a look at exactly what happened there. Gonna rewind here. So we see Clint Stone actually gave Brett Merle a little bit of help getting into his back bumper. We see he slows up to make sure he avoids it, and here comes Colin Willems flying on the bottom under the 99. But we stay green here at North Wilkesboro. And that'll put, with everything that happened on the hullabaloo, that'll put Eddie Morse in the second place position. Cody Moore trying to get by Brett Merle for the 5th place spot. Brett Merle was the one. Oh, we see another driver getting loose. That's Joe Wright into the grass for that 82 machine. Looks like he is able to keep it going straight for the most part, staying on the lead lap, but that'll cost him a ton of track position, unfortunate there, for that Red Bull machine. And I do want to take a look at some of the throwback schemes that we see tonight. Starting off, I want to talk a little bit about Brett Merle's paint scheme that he is running here tonight. He is running the UAW Delphi machine, which I believe is a throwback to, if I am not mistaken, that was Jerry Nadeau, I believe. The Hendrick Motorsports machine of Jerry Nadeau, that 25 car. So that's what I believe he is throwing back to. Then we have Devin Butchnow's throwback. He is in the McKinleyville Barbershop number 68, and he is throwing back to, I believe that is Stacy Compton's, or no, excuse me, Bobby Hamilton's Country Time Lemonade car. So that is really, really cool to see. We got Will Witt in his Shell car. Not entirely sure what that is to. I believe... Oh, no! We see a big wreck as we are looking at that paint scheme. Caution flag is out. So we are going to figure out exactly what happened as we were watching Will Witt there. Here's a look at what happened. So Devin Butchnow looking low under Kyle Mays. And, ooh. Just some tight racing there, a racing deal. The two just make contact. That sends the 55 sideways. Cody Moore nowhere to go except for right into the back of that 68 machine. We see Chappew able to squeak through. So we see some tires were just taken. Blake Hensley will take tires. Joe Wright takes tires. Logan Hagerman takes tires. With the caution flag coming out, Colin Willems is your leader. We continue to look at some of the paint schemes that we have going on here. Dave Wright in the Kyle Busch throwback. That is a throwback to Kyle Busch's Kellogg's number 5 that he ran with Hendrick Motorsports in his rookie year. Josh Hall is running a throwback to Corey LaJoie's 2019 Old Spice car that had his face plastered on it. And then lastly, David Hartney, he is throwing back to Rodney Combs's 1994 French's Black Flag Bug Killer machine. Yep, driven by Rodney Combs. It was the Richard Petty Enterprises number 43. It's a little bit of a forgotten paint scheme that ran, but it existed. Getting ready to go back green here. Colin Willems restarting on the bottom. Eddie Morris on the top. Behind them, it's Clint Stone and Brett Merle. Pace car is in. Green flag back out here. There is Colin Willems taking off. The battle is on. Clint Stone looking low under Eddie Morris for the second place position. The door is open for that 99. He is right there coming up on the back bumper. We see Eddie Morris still leaving that bottom groove open for Clint Stone. We see Clint staying right on the back bumper of that 8 machine, looking high. Blake Kinsley just ran the fastest lap time of the race with a 18.99. Clint Stone still continues to run behind Eddie Morris for that second place spot. Eddie actually running a little bit faster than Clint Stone at the moment. That is unfortunate. Looks like Clint Stone loses Eddie Morris. As I say that, though, a little bit of a run on the backstretch, just trying his best to keep up. Great run for Brett Merle through 3 and 4 as he gets up there closer and closer to the back bumper of Clint Stone. Clint Stone looking to set up a pass on Eddie Morris for the second place position. He loses him, though, heading into turns 1 and 2. So right now what Clint Stone is doing is he's looking to see what Eddie's doing, where he's braking, where he's lifting, where he's getting back into the gas, looking at his line. He's going to try to use that to his advantage, and he's also waiting for Eddie Morris to maybe make a mistake, which we've seen a lot of throughout tonight's event. Drivers getting loose off of the corner, bobbling. It's just, we've seen a lot of that, so it's definitely a possibility that we may see Clint Stone make a pass after an error from Eddie Morris. Great run through turns 1 and 2, getting ever so close to the back bumper for that 99 machine of Clint Stone. We see both Eddie Morris and Clint Stone, they both have damage on their machines. Looks like it's not affecting either aerodynamically too much, as they're running top 3. Now with Blake Kinsley in the lead, I was about to say with Blake Kinsley in the lead, but Colin Willems is in the lead right now. 7/10 lead over second place Eddie Morris, and I think now is the perfect opportunity right before we get into the last portion of the race to talk about IntensityBroadcasting.com. Welcome to Intensity Broadcasting Store. Features merchandise from your favorite broadcaster, your favorite drivers, and all of your favorite leagues. On there, you can find all of our Intensity Broadcasting merchandise with our logo on it that you see on like the top left of your screen. We've got Intensity Broadcasting t-shirts, hats, mugs, stickers, mouse pads, polo shirts. We have all of my real life racing merch with At Louise Racing. We've got At Louise t-shirts, At Louise long sleeve t-shirts, hoodies, hats, polo shirts, jackets, and beanies. And we have a bunch of auto racing novelty t-shirts that I'm sure a lot of you may enjoy. Of course, we've got the Big Bushy Bearings t-shirt, Pucker Moment, PD Powered. We have the Cautions Breed Caution shirt. A lot of very, very awesome shirts that you can pick up. And then last, we have our league collections, especially make sure to check out the SCSRA collection, where you can find SCSRA bubble-free stickers. Put them on your personal vehicle or your real-life race car to help support the league. We have SCSRA photo paper posters that you can put up in your man cave or your sim room. And lastly, we have SCSRA t-shirts that come in 5 different colors: black, navy, red, sport gray, and white, and sizes small to 5XL. 100% cotton, extremely comfortable t-shirts. And lastly, if you are a driver in real life and you are looking to get some merchandise made for your race team, make sure to hit up Intensity Broadcasting on Facebook. Let us know the kind of design that you want. What do you want it on? For example, shirts, hats, mugs. We can get all of that made, and we can get it all set for your race team, and you can give them to your fans, your crew, your family, and all you got to do is just post the intensitybroadcasting.com link on your social media, and all everybody has to do, all your family and crew and whatnot, all they have to do is click on the link, add the items that they want to their cart, and it'll get shipped right to their door. I recommend doing it in a decent amount of time so it'll get shipped before, race day. So definitely, if you're looking for some merchandise made, make sure to check us out on Intensity Broadcasting. Message us on Facebook. Right, we were talking about intensitybroadcasting.com. See, Clint Stone was able to get to second. Eddie Morris falls to third. And there's Blake Kinsley looking low under Logan Hagerman for that 4th place position. Blake Kinsley has about 2 lap fresher tires compared to Hagerman. The two are running about identical lap times. Got 25 laps to go here. And there we go, Logan Hagerman looking low under Eddie Morris. He is able to get clear to that 3rd place spot now. We see Hensley looking ahead, and there we go, he is able to get clear. Oh no, Blake Hensley getting loose off of 4. That is going to cost him some momentum. And oh no, he gets loose again in turns 1 and 2. Can he save it? No, he cannot. Sideways, and the caution flag is out. The 11th caution of the race. We see Kyle Mays comes plowing in. Caution flag is out here at North Wilkesboro. Unfortunate. Saw Blake Kinsley, who was really, really fast. So here's a look at what happened for Hensley. And this has been a common theme throughout tonight's event. All right, here is a look at what happened. So heading into turns 1 and 2, Blake Hensley has got Cody, on his own. We see Blake Hensley just gets loose on entry of the corner, probably in the braking zone. And the car just goes sideways. Luckily, Cody and Eddie are able to get through, and then he turns way up the track. Will Witt able to get by. Luckily, it looks like everybody else is able to get through. There you go. That is Blake Kinsley's incident. Unfortunate for that 88 machine. He has had a rough race so far tonight. We've got Jeffrey Belk in the pits, getting some damage fixed. Looks like he was actually taking some tires, too. We saw a lot of drivers actually just came in there. We saw Eddie Morris taking tires, Devin Butchno taking tires, Brett Merle took tires. We saw Blake Hensley just take a faster pair and maybe some splash of fuel as well. Dave Wright takes tires, Josh Hall takes tires. Jeffrey Belk looks like he took 4 tires and got some damage fixed. And Todd Mays gets a splash of fuel and I believe gets some damage fixed. So Colin Willems, he remains your leader here at North Wilkesboro, but we will see if that lasts, as this is going to be a very, very tight restart with 20 laps to go. Andre Gavin on Facebook says, what game console is this for? This is iRacing is only on PC, so you cannot get iRacing on Xbox or on PlayStation or Nintendo. It is only on the PC. If you want more information on iRacing and how to get it for your PC, make sure to check out iRacing.com. Green flag is back out here. Colin Willems is taking off. We've got side by side for second, Clint Stone and Logan Hagerman. We see Clint Stone is able to get clear. Logan Hagerman reeling in Clint Stone for the second place spot. Able to get to the back bumper. Now it's just time to set up a pass, which is very, very difficult to do here at North Wilkesboro. 17 laps to go. Can Logan Hagerman bring it home? He's got 2 cars to get by. Going to try to get his first SCSRA win of the season. Clint Stone trying to get up to your leader, Colin Willems. Actually just ran in. Oh, a caution flag is out here at North Wilkesboro. We're going to see what happened here. Looks like Michael White got involved. So here's a look at what happened. Here we are coming off of turn number 4. Josh Hall right behind Cheeseburger. And this actually does not happen between these two. It happens ahead with Michael White. So heading through 3 and 4, Michael White has Eddie Morris all over the back bumper. Gets into him there. And that is going to allow Eddie Morris to get under the 09. We see Michael White turns down into Eddie. Eddie almost gets into Chapue, and we see the 09 just gets loose hard into the inside wall. Yeah. That is unfortunate there. Michael White, that Aflac machine, getting a ton of damage. Now, Andre, if you are interested in getting into iRacing, I would probably say wait until November during, like, Black Friday, because iRacing always has crazy, crazy, crazy good deals on getting a subscription during that time. That is probably the best time, I would say, to get a iRacing subscription. Not sure exactly how much of a good deal it is. But I remember, I believe last year, it was very good. So yeah, last year it was 25% off. Or it was 25% off reactivating your account and 50% off getting a new account. So that was really, really awesome to see, and I think they're going to kind of bring those deals back in November. So that would definitely be the perfect time to get an iRacing subscription. iRacing, the company, iRacing company actually does have a console game out. It's called World of Outlaws. It's the World of Outlaws video game. It actually just came out, or it is going to come out in 5 days. It's called World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. It's going to be on PS4, Xbox One, Xbox Series S and Series S, and PS5. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro. There we see Colin Willems taking off side by side for second. Clint Stone, Logan Hagerman. Stone with the nose on the outside, and he is able to get clear. 10 laps to go here at North Wilkesboro. The engines are roaring throughout the Appalachian Mountains. 9 laps to go as Colin Willems crosses the line now. Side by side for fourth between Cody Moore and Joe Wright. We see Cody Moore with the nose on the outside. A bumper is not on that 52 machine. So that may be affecting Cody a little bit. Aerodynamically, we see Joe Wright getting loose off of 4. That is going to cost him a little bit of momentum and allow Cody Moore to get clear. Logan Hagerman still all over the back bumper of Clint Stone, not letting him get away. And the 13th caution of the race is out. Looks like we saw a few drivers go off track. Here's a look at what happened. Coming off a 2. We see Will Witt just gets loose, comes down into Joe Wright, putting him in the outside wall. We see Eddie Morse getting involved. Brett Merle gets some damage. There's Derek Chapu sideways on entry of 3. So unfortunate there. Saw some very, very fast drivers get involved in that one, most notably Will Witt. But we see Will Witt still sits in 7th. Like I said, there is a World of Outlaws video game that is coming out. World of Outlaws Dirt Racing. And it is made by the creators of iRacing. And it's pretty much the World of Outlaws. They're returning to console gaming for the first time in over a decade on September 27th. So that is only 6 days from now. It's going to be on PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox S, and S. This is an official game of the greatest show on dirt. It features 6 different dirt series from the premier World of Outlaws NOS Energy Sprint Cars and the Case Construction Equipment late models to 4 dirt car classes. And more than 40 tracks are on the game, including Eldora, Knoxville, and Volusia. So definitely go and check it out. I did not realize there was that many tracks that you could run on. So that is going to be a really, really, really good opportunity. Go check it out. I mean, the iRacing made an incredible game. And I think they're going to do the same thing with World of Outlaws. So go check it out. You know there's going to be some awesome drivers that you can choose from. Awesome tracks. Who knows, maybe your local dirt track will be on the game. We're getting ready to go back green here. A green-white checkered. Colin Willems will restart on the bottom. Clint Stone restarting on the top. Here we go. Pace car is in. Green flag is back out here at North Wilkesboro Speedway. Here they go up through the gears heading into 1 and 2. We see Brett Merle is sideways. Can he save it? Yes, he does. Oh, no. Big pileup off of 2. And we will have another attempt at a green-white checkered after the incident that we saw there. It's now time for the wreckage rewind. We've had 14 cautions. I believe that may be a record this season. Wow. So here is a look at what happened. I apologize. I did not have the replay up. Here we go. So here we go. We saw Brett Merle got loose. He gets loose again off of 2. And then we see Chaput, Joe Wright both get caught up into it. They get into the wall. Blake Kinsley is involved. Kyle Mays is involved. Michael White is involved. It's just a humongous pileup. See, Josh Hall gets involved. See, Michael White with damage. Dave Wright able to squeak through. Jeez. What a wild wreck. A lot of the field getting caught up in it. So we will have another attempt at a green-white checkered. And for those of you who don't know how these go, green flag is going to drop. The drivers are going to make one lap around the track. And then when they cross the start-finish line, it'll be one lap to go, which is the white part. Then they're going to make one more lap around, and as they cross the start-finish line, that will be the checkered flag, and the race will end. Now, if a caution flag, if a wreck happens and a caution flag comes out before the drivers take one to go, we will do this again. But if the drivers take one to go and then there is a wreck, no caution will come out. We will race the rest of the way, and everything that happens will happen. So here we go. Lights on the pace car are about to go off. Getting ready to go back green here. Colin Willems restarting on the bottom. Clint Stone restarting on the top. Behind them, it's Logan Hagerman, Cody Moore. Here we go. Pace car's in. Green flag back out here. There we see Colin Willems taking off. But he's got Clint Stone right on his back bumper. Clint Stone looking to the outside as we head through 1 and 2. Loses them a little bit, but a great run off of 2 for Clint Stone. Trying to maybe set up a pass through 3 and 4. Can he get to the back bumper? I am not sure. As they cross the start-finish line, it'll be 1 lap to go. Next flag ends the race. Clint Stone looking to the outside. Once again, he is to the back bumper of Colin Willems. We see drivers wrecking on the backstretch. He is to the outside, side by side, coming off of turn number 4. Colin Willems with the nose, and Colin Willems will get his second win of the season here at North Wilkesboro, and he will become the first driver, or the second driver, to have multiple wins this season. What a race for Colin Willems. Wow. An upset win, I would say, for that 17 machine. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And a Polish victory lap being done by the number 17 machine. Popularized by the late Alan Kulwicki. And he stops. Oh, there we go. And Colin Willems is burning it down here at North Wilkesboro. Awesome, awesome job for the number 17 machine. So far, he has had a fantastic season. This is his second win and fifth top 10, third top 5 out of 7 races. That means after this race, Colin Williams has finished in the top 10 in over 70% of the races. So very, very good start to the season for Colin Williams. We're going to start off by pulling in your race winner, the man from Cincinnati, Ohio. It is Wasted Wages Racing's Cody Moore in the 52. Cody, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. We got a copy.
I got you, buddy.
Awesome. Well, great run for you tonight. You had a really, really fast car all race long. We did see you had a little bit of tough luck early on with a lot of the cautions that were happening and a little bit of a roller coaster race. But in the end, we saw you were able to get back up to the front for those last few laps. You were up there competing with Colin and Clint. We saw you're almost involved there in that instant with Brett. You're able to get through and just able to keep it in that top 3. So fantastic run. I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
Yeah, I think it was just if you could stay out of trouble and keep the car clean, which I didn't do, you could run top 5. It just, a lot of people had speed tonight. A lot of people had really good runs. It just, it was whenever the wrecks happened that it was unfortunate. I think when I got that in that second wreck, I used my fast repair earlier, but I was in that second wreck. I think the car was just had that perfect amount of speed, low on RPMs that was helping me get out of the corners, and so yeah, it worked out. But yeah, I'm really lucky to get out of there with 3rd place.
Now we know North Wilkesboro terrible on the tires. How were you able to manage that throughout the race?
The first run there, I was taking it real easy, but I think I was actually making myself tighter, trying to go so easy. And then I didn't pit at the stage, which I should have done. I was just going to stay out the whole race. And then the whole pack went in behind me, so I knew I was in trouble. And I had no drive off the corner. I panicked or something. I think I got into Kyle. My apologies to Kyle for that. But yeah, it just, you try to keep it not tight, basically.
I got you. Well, before we let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Of course. I want to start out by thanking my beautiful wife, Maggie via my proxy wife, Cassie. I want to thank my daughter and son for letting me do this. Papa Moore watching at home. I want to thank all my teammates at Wasted Wages. Colin, heck of a win. Sorry the rest of you got taken out. But yeah, I just want to thank Mick Olafson for the paint. And yeah, thanks for doing this, Atlee. Sorry, my mind's a little crazy tonight, but that was a wild race.
That is exactly what it looked like here from the broadcast booth. Wild, wild race. And so, again, congrats on the top 3. Awesome, awesome run. And hopefully we'll see many more throughout the season. Have a great rest of your night, Cody.
Thanks, Atlee.
No problem. All right, we are going to be pulling in now your 2nd place finisher from Chattanooga, Tennessee. It's Clint Stone. Clint, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. We got a copy.
Yeah, I got you.
Awesome. Well, we knew coming into this race that we were going to expect to see you up front for a lot of tonight's event. We saw you start on the pole, but Blake was able to get by you early on, and we saw on that first lap, we spun, dropped to the back, and after that, it was just trying to play catch-up, just trying to work your way up to the field. Eventually, we saw you were able to get back up to the front of the pack, and we saw, of course, Blake went around. You were able to get by him to the second place spot. And after that, it was just chasing Colin. Couldn't quite get by him for the lead, and just able sitting in second. So I mean, what was your take on tonight's event?
It wasn't very good. I was I spun out last night, I think on the first lap. Tonight I think was on the first lap. It was, I don't know. Tonight it was just a little aggravation. Nothing I could really do at the end. I mean, I was trying, but I was gonna give it all I had. I got in the wall on the exit, but I had old tires, and it's really the only way to cycle back through the front, because you weren't really running back through the field, getting around everybody once you got tires or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The 3 teammates were there. I was pretty nervous, restart after restart, but kept it going, and then apologized to Brad. I got into him there, and one lap he got a little loose and saved it, and then I got right to him. Should have known his tires, hot tires, that they're not gonna stick if you get bumped, and yeah, that was my fault.
So before I let you go, is there any sponsors or shout-outs?
Yeah, all the Maze guys, and Mark, and you for the broadcast, and the league.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the runner-up finish tonight, Clint. Have a great rest of your night.
All right, appreciate it.
And now we're going to be pulling in your winner from Strathroy, Ontario. It is your Season 3 iOS Cup Series champion, Colin Willems. Colin, this is Atlee in the broadcast room. We got a copy.
I got you, Allie.
Awesome. Well, fantastic run tonight. If you would have told me before this race that Colin Willems would win, I would have said you were crazy. But you had a heck of a run after not starting in the best position in the 11th place spot early on. We saw you got involved in some of the incidents, but you're able to work your way back up to the field, and we saw you were in the right place at the right time moment. We saw Blake and Clint get into it up front, and you were able to just drive below them on the bottom. Both of them had less momentum. Took the lead, and after that, you're able to hold off everybody else, keep the lead, and get your second win of the season. I mean, awesome job. What was your take?
Yeah, about the way you said it, I mean, I definitely didn't come here expecting to win. This is a track I've struggled with, but I did have some good speed in practice. Car felt good to me. I did screw up the qualifying, so the 11th place, I think it was 11th I started. Wasn't great, but yeah, like you said, right place, right time, and then after that, was just able to control the restarts, start gapping the field once we had some green runs. So yeah, I was just pretty fortunate to get the opportunity to get the lead, and once I had it, just doing my as best I could to manage keeping it.
Now, I know at this track, I experienced it last night in the Truck Series. It is so hard to pass here. I mean, how were you able to combat that and move up to the field here?
Honestly, when I was further back in the field, I would pick a guy and just follow him through. Is basically what I was doing, and it worked out for me. I'd follow guys like Butchino, Kyle Mays, would just have a good lane, a good run, a good line, and I would just follow them through the field towards the front. So that's what worked for me. I can't take any credit for making many passes. I was just following guys who were making passes.
Now, before we let you go, is there anyone you'd like to thank for your win?
Absolutely. I'd like to thank Cassie, as always, #1 fan with me through everything. I want to thank all the boys who came down to Bristol, man. I had a blast. Eddie Morris, Dave Wright, Joe Wright, Blake Hensley, Cody Moore. Had a blast, guys. We need to do that again. We need to get more of the group out there. That was just an awesome experience. I'd also like to thank Maggie. I dedicate this win to her. Sorry about that. And you guys up in the booth, all the admins, everything, everybody here. Love it all. Love coming here racing every week.
Awesome. Well, again, congrats on the win, and hopefully might see a couple more throughout the season. Have a great rest of your night, Colin.
Yeah, you too, Adley. Thanks, buddy.
Well, there you go. That will do it for tonight's event. one more time, congratulations to Colin Willems on his win. We got to thank, of course, the sponsors of the league, Dev Sports Cards, for all that they do. Want to thank Moore's Customs for helping with a lot of stuff. I want to thank, of course, Butt Kicker for partnering with Intensity Broadcasting. If you want some of the best, if you want to get products from the #1 leader in haptics, then make sure to check out thebuttkicker.com and find out what Butt Kicker products are right for you. I got to thank all the league admins, Eddie Morris, Michael Provolt, Sylvain Seagoin, Brian Nudie, Devin Butchino, and Stephen Black for all that they do for this league. Without them, this league would not run as smoothly as it does. They do so many things behind the scenes that a lot of people don't realize, and I just want to give them all a shout out for what they do for the league. Of course, I got to thank everyone who tuned in to watch tonight. I mean, make sure to like, follow, and subscribe to Intensity Broadcasting on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, as it would be greatly appreciated. We're trying to reach our goals of 2,500 followers on Facebook, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 1,000 followers on Twitch. Check out our Twitter page, Intensity Broad 1. We're always dropping polls and interacting with our viewers on there. It's a fun time. That's the best place where you can reach us if you want to chat with us about what's going on in the NASCAR and sim racing world. Also, make sure to visit our web store, intensitybroadcasting.com. There you can find Intensity Broadcasting merchandise, At Racing merchandise, auto racing novelty t-shirts, and our league collections. Especially make sure to check out the SCSRA league collection and pick up SCSRA bubble-free stickers, SCSRA t-shirts, or an SCSRA photo paper poster. I'm Atlee Atman-Weist on behalf of the entire Intensity Broadcasting team. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Over and out.